So y'all want to know the scariest thing, and it's happening to me now, is being a female, married. I'm 37. I have 2 kids. They're 5 and 7. And I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 10 plus years. I have no income. I have no money. I use my husband's credit card and I use my husband's money. And 2 weeks ago, he told me that he wants to move forward with divorce. And today, I literally, like, I use an American Express credit card for everything. It's got my name on it, but obviously he pays the bill. He told me he's gonna cut it off, and I gotta, like, move all the automatic payments and stop using it. And he said, you need to start using your own card now. What card? I don't have a card. That is my card. Terrifying. I mean, I feel like a little girl who needs their mommy because I don't know how to take care of myself. I don't, like, it's just terrifying. Terrifying.
So, I'm gonna use ADHD and I'm gonna multitask today and talk about this. I talk about this all the time. But I got shit to do today. So, I was sent this video. I was tagged in this video quite a few times, and I really wasn't gonna say anything about it because, everybody, it's countless of these stories online. But I had a new thought this morning when I was laying in bed. And we will have to repeat things so that new people will become aware of them, right? Stop making decisions based off of the belief systems that you have. Stop it. Because women, none of these things that men do are new. None of it. Meaning none of this is new to women. Women are making decisions intentionally off of delusions, off of their fantasies, off of the fairy tale, off of the exception to the rule. Because the bottom line is most women think they are the exception to the rule. All women think they're the exception to the rule, right? So every woman thinks her man is different. I've been watching All's Fair. And it's a good show. I like the premise of the show. I like the underlying messages that is going on in the show. I like the way they are having the women interact and engage because it's such a deep dynamic. They're hitting all types of, say what you want about Kim Kardashian. They are hitting so many points in the dynamics of relationships that women have with each other. And they are, and it's subtle too. Women know what's going on. Women know what's going on. Women did not get child support. Child support laws and alimony laws really start to be heavily enforced in the 70s. Why in the 70s? Why was so much going on in the late 60s and 70s around feminism, child support, laws protecting women, laws protecting children? Because they were the adult children coming from the 50s. This grandiose time period, let other people tell it, where the family structure was so intact and everybody was, in their proper place. Women got to be stay-at-home moms. If that was the case, why? Listen, men have always done this. And women's protection laws and spousal support goes back to the 1600s. Because in a system like patriarchy's design, it has taken into account the biology of men, how men conduct themselves. Men have always left women and their children in droves. Why do you think they had to change policy? And women are okay with this as long as they have the delusion that they can take these men to court and get child support. How many, raise your hand if you know a woman whose baby daddy or husband quit their job so he didn't have to pay child support. Raise your hand if you know a woman or seen women on this app countless times telling their stories about how their husbands who were the providers left and completely abandoned their children. Raise your hand if you have worked in the financial industry and you have to sit and listen to people's domestic issues about how these men are leaving their wives stranded, who were stay-at-home moms for 10 and 12 years, who don't have income, who don't have a job, who are now homeless. Men have always done this, yet for some reason, women are making decisions as if they're the exception to the rule that they already know exists. Why? Now, you can say what you want, but I don't operate in falsehood. I make decisions based off what I see, not based off my belief system. And when I have a belief system, I test that belief system. I study that belief system. I research that belief system. I look for evidence for said belief system. All types of ideas pop in your head that don't make it true. Yet women like this woman in this video making decisions for her entire life and her children. Drop them motherfucking kids off to that man. Listen, as time go on and women start to adjust and natural order starts to be restored, right? You will have to do some things you never thought you would have to do or you never really wanted to do. Do it. Because people don't get it, right? Men are also naive. Men don't expect women to abandon their children. That's why they have children with you in order to get you in control, to try to manipulate you. So you do a reverse. You do a 180 on their ass when he decided to leave you and he was the breadwinner. And you give him custody of them kids since he make the money. Men don't think women are bold enough to do that because men also have been lied to about the depths of women. And women have played the role so much, it's reinforced those belief systems. If y'all are going to continue to try to pursue relationships with men, please understand that you need to be even more cutthroat than women like me, who have no interest in men, who will never have children, who will never get married, who will never cohabitate with a man. Y'all need to be more ruthless. You need to be skimming off the top. You need to be taking this man money. If he don't have enough money to voluntarily give you, you don't need to be financially dependent on him. If he has enough money for you to be comfortably financially dependent and he's willing to give you automatic deposits as if you were getting paid for staying home, for taking care of kids, for being a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home girlfriend, you need to have money stacked in an account that he cannot find. And bitch, do not get caught. If you are not willing to do that, the rest of us will have to watch you and the train wreck that your life is and turn away and turn around and walk away. Because y'all are intentionally making decisions based off what you want to have, not based off reality. And y'all are acting like this shit is new. It has never been new. Men know what they are doing. Y'all just don't think it's ever going to be you. Leave them kids with that man. Go get yourself together. And then see what happens. She can take her time. She can go get her a degree. She can go get her a job. She can start her a business while he has sole custody. Do what they were willing to do to you or worse. That is how we get natural order restoration. It ain't going to be pretty. You're not going to be able to beg them. It's going to get ugly before it gets pretty again. So this is part 2. When you come to an agreement with a man and he reneges on his agreement, all's fair. Proper sacrifices will need to be made when we are talking about natural order restoration. Many women are not going to catch on, right? It doesn't matter. Those of us who really understand the power, the divine power that we have, know that we don't need all women. We smarter than them, we sharper than them. The only thing we need is to make sure we know who our enemies are, and our enemies and women. Shit is gonna get ugly. It's not gonna be pretty. And you're gonna have to do things and get comfortable with things you once may have thought was bad, right? Because men will easily renege on their agreements with you. You get to do the same. Stop feeling guilty about shit you don't need. Men will never feel guilty about tricking you, about abandoning you, about replacing you with the latest model. Never. It's a reason why they sever your relationship. Women's relationship, the sacred feminine initiation into each stage of womanhood. It's the reason why they untether young girls from older women and pit each other against each other. Pit us against each other. Because why? They don't want us to be able to tell younger women what we know. And when we do tell them, and when they do hear it, they want to make you think that you're in a competition, right? Knowing you're the older woman, you've seen it, you experienced it. So you know that there is no competition. It's this young woman's video I keep coming across on Instagram, actually, where she keeps saying, she goes around, I think she's in New York City, and she goes around and she asks women, do men ever change? Older women specifically. And I mean older women. Guess what all of those women say? All of those women have the same answer. No. Yet for some reason, women, when they are deciding to have children, when they are deciding to get married, they always decide based off the illusions they have in their head, not the reality that they are seeing in the world. And the reason why I don't have very much patience for this shit is because I was raised extremely Christian, extremely religious. And we know that is one of the biggest parts of indoctrinating women into powerlessness. I have a decent father by most standards, a really good father who was always present. But when I got into adulthood, I quickly realized that what I was trained for, the men were not matching that. And I quickly realized that the dating pool had shit in it. Quickly. Which is why it was so easy for me to not date. It's because I always have a certain standard and I don't look at the fucking glass half full when it got shit in it. Y'all want to look at a glass, a foggy ass, shitty ass, dingy ass glass as if it's half full. Half full of what exactly? Listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is my calling because this is the shit that I've been watching. I'm finally letting out all of this shit that I've seen. I didn't know when I was a little girl, when I was a teenager, that there was going to be a TikTok platform or an Instagram platform or a platform where we get to share our life's experiences and our observations. I didn't know that. But here we are. Wake up. Nothing about what is going on is going to be pretty. Shit is ugly. A big part of the reason why patriarchy give women privileges is because patriarchy knows if they don't give women privileges, if they don't give women a safety net, women are going to start to fight back. They're going to stop having children, right? That's why they put you in a cycle. They'll give you a little bit and take it back. Give you a little bit and take it back. The minute you start feeling yourself, you get too comfortable with the privileges that they gave you and you keep having your hand out, they're going to take it back, right? That's what they do. So that's the space we're in now. They're going to create laws. They're going to try to get you in control. Men in patriarchy, the systems, they don't give you privileges. They don't give you alimony and child support because they give a fuck about you. They give you alimony and child support so that you won't ascertain your power, so that you won't come in full totality of who you should be. They don't want you to assert your natural position of authority in society. That is the reason why they give you privileges. That is the reason why they create safety nets. They don't create safety nets because they give a fuck about you and your goddamn kids. Because then they'll turn around and take it back. They'll give you a little bit later and then they'll take it right back. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. And it's like, I don't know what it's, those of us who see have to share, because obviously everybody else don't see, and those who do don't really want to admit it. Y'all want to keep going on like the program is normal. They don't give you privileges because they give a fuck about their kids. Men don't pay your bills because they give a fuck about you, or they would never wake up one day and decide they no longer wanted that responsibility anymore. Okay? They give it to you because they can take it away. Because that is them, they're using it to assert their authority over you. That's it. That's it. So the privileges that they give you is always going to be temporary. Yet y'all think that it's something to brag about when you find a man who's willing to pay the bills. And you can tell how full of shit most women are, because the minute they get a fucking ring, they can't help but tell everybody. Bitch is gonna learn. You don't want to be the bitch that learned the hard fucking way, okay? And if you are going to play these games, please be fucking smart, bro. These men don't love you. They secure their access to you. And the minute they feel like they can get something better, I fucking hate when I do that. The minute they feel like they can get something better, guess what they're going to do? Go get something better. Now, this is part 3, and this is my final part. And I'll be discussing a little bit about the racial dynamics that come into play when we're talking about Black women and white women and how we operate in patriarchy, because it's very clear that we take a different approach when it comes to navigating patriarchy. And they're very opposite approaches. See, because like the woman in the video that I stitched, she's a white woman. And one thing that I noticed about white women is that they are very much trained and conditioned to be dependent on men. But it costs them, right? Because white women are sharper and smarter and faster than white men are. They are their mothers. And we all collectively as women have to assume responsibility for the power, for the power that we choose to not take and for the positions that we choose to take within patriarchal systems. That being said, white women come from a whole different place when we are talking about navigating these systems. Esoterically speaking, Black women are, and scientifically, right? Black women are the quote unquote mothers of the earth. We are the original human. So we have to own the totality of what that means, regardless of if we want to or not. White women have been conditioned because they were not born. They were not created. They were not mutated into existence under matriarchy. Patriarchy had already existed. So they are cut from a different cloth. Think of Lilith and Eve for an example. If y'all know the different stories of those. In this sort of context, black women would be Lilith, white women would be Eve. Because black women are the original woman. And so our foundational, our who we are is foundationally different. So I notice in my interactions in real life with white women that they have this, it's almost like they don't have an option but to get married. And it's only now on social media where I'm starting to see white women lean more towards not being married, because a lot of white women, and I'm not drawing any conclusions on whether this makes them proper or correct or not, but a lot of white women that lead patriarchy, anti-patriarchal content are married. Now, again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be married, that two things don't exist, because a married woman also, deserve and should fight for her own existence. But let's call a thing, because shit gets dark. Shit has to get dark before light can come through. Creation, everything is created in the darkness. The womb is the darkness. And there will come a point in time where you have to pick a side. And I'm going to tell you like this, as a shadow goddess, founder of Dark Goddess Academia, I focus on the whole truth, but I operate in wholeness, so I leave room for everything else. I always leave room and asterisk at everything. Nothing is carved in stone. I'm going to side-eye any married woman, period. I am going to vet everyone, right? But when we are talking about community, if you are married, how are you bringing a fucking man into community? Now, these things happen over the course of time, right? I don't expect all women to wake up one day and not deal with men, right? Men are here, women are here, all different shades, size, and colors. Everything exists. But this is what I'm saying. When you want change, you have to be aggressive. And I'm not saying that just because you don't have a man, because you're not married, because it's a lot of bitches acting like they don't want a man, and they really do. They are acting like, oh, I'm glad I'm single. I'm glad. No, you're not. I don't listen to women 25 years old and younger act like they're solid in their decision. Not to be disrespectful, but just to give them time to make sure that's what they want. Now, I fundamentally believe that you can navigate any situation. We all know you will not be your full self with a man laying next to you. Where is your allegiance? Who is a married woman's allegiance to? This is not conversations for today, next. This is for today, but this is about the future. Who are married women's allegiance to? Now, a married woman is welcome to my table if you're willing to throw your husband under the bus when the girls need you to, if the girls need you to. If your husband don't fall in line. But y'all got to know that none of them can be trusted. So if you are aligning yourself with them, if you are hitching your wagon to them, you can't be trusted by proxy. This is dark wisdom. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. But you got to be a stone cold bitch to be married to a man and really do this work. And most of y'all not stone cold bitches. Because a real stone cold bitch, anyway, you got to be stone cold in order to be married. Black women, on the other hand, we're the reason why we in this fucking predicament in the first fucking place. Because we are the only ones who can truly turn this shit around, because we are the ones who created it. You have to really, if you want to be the mothers of the earth, if you want to be, it don't matter whether you want to, you are whether you want to be or not. You have to assume the whole responsibility. You don't just get to sit and play victim. When we be talking about women and their humiliation kinks and all this, who got a bigger humiliation kink than the black woman? Anyway, I'm about to go. Y'all, look at my outfit. Don't ask for this no more, because I ain't going to make this a habit. Because I never make a promise that I can keep.